Good evening, guys. My name's Joby Bowie from London, from the Crypto Pros. Tonight is our Friday night training session, and we've got a very special guest with us, Tonya Lawrence, who's an an investment banker, and we want to give a little quick interview with Tonya to discover all about the credibility that she runs to being an investment banker, why she joined this business, and we're going to delve deep into a little bit of how you do real research as well. And we're going to find out why she joined this amazing company of us we're in OneLife. So sit back, guys. Hope you take some notes on this. Please get some value from it as well, because this is going to bring huge credibility to the business. When someone of this stature joins our company, it really does say a lot. So let's take lead, listen to what she's got to say, because she's an incredible leader, building businesses all over the world. She's got teams in India, Africa going on, and all over the week. Every time I speak to her, she's always asking about, do you know someone here? Do you know someone there? So there's always, she's really taking this business seriously. So please take notes, guys. This is going to be invaluable for you and your teams as well for later on down the line. So let me bring out our superstar guest, and absolute honor to have you, Tonya. How are you, my darling? You okay?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Joby?
Yeah, absolutely outstanding. It's been a great day in the office today. We've closed some great deals, and now I get to speak to the likes of you and bring some positivity to the group as well. So absolutely appreciate.
Well, thanks for having me on.
No worries at all. We really appreciate your time doing this to give a little bit of an insight of the credibility that you bring to the company as well is just phenomenal. So as soon as I found out what you do, I had to hit you up and said, can we get an interview? And kindly enough, you agreed. So we really appreciate your time, and hopefully we can give some good value back to the people as well. So tell us a little bit about you, your background, and what you're doing before you joined this company.
Okay. Like Joby said, my name is Tonya Lawrence, and I'm an investment banker. We have a family-owned investment banking firm that my husband started 22 years ago. And for the last 15 years or so, I've been the CEO of the investment banking firm. So essentially run the day-to-day operations as well as working with business owners directly. And we facilitate financing for national transactions as well. During my 15 years with the company, I financed over 100 businesses, or facilitated financing for over 100 businesses, representing about $1 billion in revenue. And our clients are typically seeking anywhere between $1 million and $200 million. So we work with them to do due diligence and figure out if they are eligible for financing, with the likelihood is that they'd be able to repay the debt they're looking for, and also help them. Sometimes the best thing that you can tell someone is, you're not ready right now, and here's what you need to do to be ready. So our clients are coming to us. We're doing a lot of due diligence in the beginning to determine even if they're eligible to hire us. They're paying a non-refundable retainer to engage us for our service. So we're really serious professionals who want professionals to represent them in the field of investment banking and facilitating financing and credit enhancements, and doing a lot of the language barriers that a business owner might have with a bank or with a government entity who's providing the credit enhancement. Our job is to research, get information together, present it in a manner that's favorable to that business owner, as well as make it something that is for them to be able to reach.
Wow. That's just by saying that, I think we could just end the interview. I mean, that is just what credibility, that's real research, due diligence at the highest level. So, I mean, what more can anyone say? Oh, you just bring so much credibility to this now. What made you look into cryptocurrency and the OneLife business?
Actually, a business partner of ours introduced my husband and I last spring to digital currency and what was happening with OneCoin. And we had a prior experience with another company that was not so favorable. We didn't get involved, but our experience with that company was not so favorable. And it was Bitcoin. And from what we understood at that time, it was something that we wanted to stay away from, period. So we never did it on Bitcoin. Notation that we originally heard about it made us shy away from it. And really, we missed the boat because we didn't take the time to educate ourselves. We didn't take the time to do any due diligence. And there are some positives and some negatives to anything that you get involved with. But when we did not take the time to learn, it took for someone that we trusted and respected to bring the information to our attention again. And we said, okay, we'll take a look at it. And still, we waited until the end of last year to actually do them. That has its pluses and minuses. It gave us some time to look at the company, what was going on in the industry, but we also missed out on some things like the coins in October. And every time I hear someone say it, I cringe because we did miss that opportunities. But sometimes, you have to go at your own pace and do what makes sense for you.
Yeah. So what was the due diligence that you done on this company to make you give an educated decision to say, okay, yeah, this is legal, this is compliant, this is something that we want to run with?
Well, in a traditional business, when we're looking at it, we're looking at their third-party financials, feasibility studies that project from a third party how they're going to fare in the economy with their product, with their service, juxtaposed to other companies. Well, with digital currency being so new, only 9 years old, not a lot of people who have done what Dr. Ruja has done. It was a different level of research that we were able to pull together. And so we looked at credible third sources. We read a lot of articles online, and CoinDesk has a wealth of articles from experts or people who have been following the trends of digital currency as a whole and blockchain technology and what it means for everyone. We also looked at LexisNexis. There's about 2 years worth of data there for OneCoin. And so being able to look at a company that's from a legal standpoint, businesses and how they're faring on with them. And from a network marketing perspective, looking at business for home and watching the numbers increase. I mean, the top 10 2 years ago, 60% of them are no longer on there because they're all people from OneLife who've reached the top 10 individual income earners in the world. That says a lot. 20 years ago or so, I was a sales director for Mary Kay, and there's no way in the world you could have ever told me that one of those top 10 wouldn't be from Mary Kay. It's a 50-plus-year-old company with a great standing, great product, and it's international. They're not even on the map anymore. And so, not to say anything negative, it's still a great company, but what has happened with OneCoin in particular in the digital currency space has been phenomenal. So we were watching that. We were watching the trends. We were watching what was happening. We were watching the things that she said she was going to do that actually took place when she said that they were going to take place. We read the things that other industry experts and successful people were saying about digital currency and blockchain technology. There's Elon Musk, who has said for quite some time now that digital currency is the wave of the future. There's Bill Gates, who has plenty of videos out there talking about digital currency and what's going to happen for the world, not just the United States, but what's going to happen for the world using digital currency. And, Don Tapscott, another investment banker, very smart, sharp gentleman who has a TED Talk that's a wonderful video that if you have not seen it, Google it. Don Tapscott actually put together a TED Talk really talking about blockchain technology and how it influences everything that happens going forward, not just digital currency, but the way that we interact with each other, and removing that trusted third party that used to get paid for things. Now there is a technology in place. And so all those different people brought a different perspective, and success leaves clues. If you have people that are very successful, who are doing their own due diligence, the people that you want to listen to, not a no-name guy who's sitting around in his boxers blogging. That's not necessarily the person that I'm ever going to listen to do due diligence for any business that I'm working on. My daughter's in college at George Washington University. I would pull her hair if she decided to use blog to do her research for any college paper that she's working on. So you always have to look at credible sources. And, you know, like his politics or not, like his personality or not, on digital currency. So there is definitely something that's going on with digital currency and blockchain technology. So we just kind of watched, and we've been watching and learning and reading and doing as much due diligence as possible to decide, you know, this is the company that we want to work with. There are 3 big companies. There's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and OneCoin. But what we really love about OneCoin is their educational platform. The ability to go out and take this information and really educate people on, when you have money, this is what you need to do with it. When you're looking at a business, here is how you vet it for yourself. All of that education just makes everybody better and greater. And for this level of education that you can get when you're working with OneCoin, it's like going to an Ivy League school in the United States that could cost you upwards of $70,000 a year.
Wow, absolutely beautiful insight. And you briefly touched on LexisNexis. For those who don't know what LexisNexis is, give us a little bit of insight of what that is and how much credibility that brings to a company.
LexisNexis is a third-party company. They're not owned by anyone. They are the equivalent here in the United States, the equivalent higher of the Better Business Bureau. They're looking at financials for a company, the executives in a company. They're vetting every aspect of the company to determine and put a rating on that company of the credibility of that company and what they bring to the table. It doesn't help also, or doesn't hurt also, that my husband's an attorney. So being able to have him pull legal information, there's been rulings on OneCoin internationally. So having him reach out to colleagues and pull some of those documents was very helpful as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing, and just shows you the credibility of what this company actually does have. And the fact that we have legal opinion, audit reports done every week. For some people, that's still not enough. What would you say that they need to go? Where would you get them to start to? Obviously, don't go to Google for your first page search, as they say. But where would you get someone to obviously to start their journey of looking into this company?
That's a great question. Google is a good tool, but you have to know how to look for credible information on Google. So if you're going to read an article, the title of that article is meant to grab your attention. So it has to be something controversial or catchy, but you need to read the entire article. And when you are doing that, look at the person who wrote the article, look at the company behind the article. If you get to the end and there's a link for you to join a business, not the best article to look to get credible information about the company that you were researching. Look to see the credentials of that person. If it's a blog and there's no name, no other contact information, no other content for you to follow up on that person and to find out if they're a credible source in that industry, that's not a good piece to go with. So you want to look at who's behind the article, who's behind the information. And right now, as a search engine, Google may be for anyone who doesn't have access to legal documents like my husband may be able to get his hands on. That may be the only way that you can actually look for information. But please, please, please do yourself a huge favor and look at the person who's sharing the information. That's like asking, you know, a professional, a lawyer, what is their opinion on something legally, and then going home and asking your cousin who's in college, who knows it all, that same everyone does. Now, who are you going to follow? Someone who has the experience, the background, and the knowledge and take their opinion, or the person who's just learning and wants to be able to say, here's my opinion on something? You want to go with the most credible source. And not everyone is going to have a rosy opinion of digital currency, because again, it is new. There's an inherent risk in digital currency, but guess what? On the other side of that, there's a huge reward for those who do decide to move forward, and there's potentially the upside of, with OneCoin, same success that Bitcoin has had, going from 10 cents per coin up to over $1,200 per coin at its height. You never know. There's no guarantees in life. There's not a guarantee that when you're driving, you're going to make it to your destination safe. There's no guarantee in the United States in particular, when you get married, you're not going to get divorced. We have over 50% divorce rate. So in anything in life, there's inherent risk. In businesses in the United States alone, 1/3 of businesses will close within their first 3 years. And so when you're looking at something, you have to look from the perspective of what the industry experts are saying, what historically has happened in that industry, and where the economy is going. And there is absolutely no doubt that everyone access to money. And so this is a business that is surrounded around money. And now you're looking at, where is money going? Where has money been historically? Historically, people used gold to barter and trade for things. Then it went to a paper currency. Then it moved on to checks. In the 50s, there was the diner card that people use, and then eventually credit cards. And in the last 10 or 15 years, you see more and more people conducting cash transactions electronically. Now, this is the next generation of currency and what's happening globally, being able to do that same thing, digitally move money, but now you're not using a centralized currency. And blockchain technology has a big future ahead of it. You just have to figure out where you want to be on that cycle. For some people, they're not early adopters, and that's absolutely okay. But you have to determine the risk and the reward for yourself. If you don't take advantage of it now, what you're missing. If you do take advantage of it now, what the potential risk may be. And like I said, for myself, when we learned about it last spring, it wasn't the time for us. We needed to do some due diligence and really think about it and watch what was going to happen. But we risked not being able to be a part of even the doubling of coins in October, which was a huge thing that could have really increased our net worth significantly at that time as well.
Yeah, I mean, even though you missed out on that, you're still a part of the company. You just took that little bit of extra time to do your due diligence to make sure this company was right for you and your husband. Still says so much for this company. And I hope you people that are watching this can understand that even though they missed a huge opportunity in October, it wasn't right for them to join right at that time. But once they delved into this company and they really got what it was of the vision of the company, the legalities of this company, they decided it was a good choice for them. That says a lot. So thank you for coming on board with us, because you're just an absolutely phenomenal leader, and it's amazing the credibility that you do give. So thank you. And I hope you guys are really getting value from this as well, because I know I am. I'm mesmerized. I'm just like, I can't stop listening. So if someone was to obviously go to Google, the first page they see, and it might be a negative blog, which is obviously all lies and rubbish and BS. If they was to come to you with that, what would your response actually be?
Look at the source.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I always ask. And that's with anything, with any company I'm looking at, I'm looking at the source. So that is the very first thing that we're going to do. And then I'm going to point them in the direction of a credible source. And like I said, LexisNexis, you can't beat them. They're internationally going to cover businesses all over the world. So you get to look at other digital currency businesses and see what's going on with them as well. But that is kind of but being able to look at credible articles on digital currency and blockchain technology, as well as OneCoin, that's exactly what I would do. Point them in the direction of someone who's credible, who has an understanding of success, how to be profitable. And, you know, sometimes you do need to read the negative information to know exactly how to address it and understand what people are saying. Because if you put your head in the sand, you don't know how to counter something that someone may bring up.
Yeah, I've got to a point now, someone says anything to me, I can just counteract it within seconds, because I'm doing my due diligence every single day. No matter what, I'm doing research, I'm always looking up, I'm always listening to leaders like yourself to understand that we need to be, as Tom McMurran says in this, we need to be warriors, and we need to be educated on this. And the more educated we can get and the more competent you become, the more confidence you get. When you get confidence, you take action, you get results. So the cycle just keeps continuing. So hope you guys, the more guys you can listen to Tonya, the more confident and competent you can become at the same time. So I hope that makes sense for you guys as well. So let's move on to our next question. So you're building a huge team. I mean, you're a phenomenal leader, and I think you've got teams in India, Africa, and all over the world. How are you doing that? And what's your strategy?
Well, I said earlier, success leaves clues, and I've been doing it simply. I started out using LinkedIn and social networking, reaching out to people who were in different countries, people who I was already connected with, and then started reaching out to their connections. So that was the first way. But recently, Tom McMurran did a phenomenal training on using YouTube and pay-per-click advertising on YouTube. And you guys, YouTube, Joby, your training videos, the information that you take the time out of your busy schedule to share with everyone is just phenomenal. We really appreciate you because, you know, I'm an expert in my field, investment banking and understanding financing and being a nerd and being a person who will read hundreds of pages of government regulations. I'm good at that. Technology was not my forte at all. And so I had to spend a lot of time researching and watching videos and having one computer next to the other computer and looking side by side to be able to put things together. But it was all worth it because it's given me a much greater footprint, a footprint that I would not have had otherwise. An ability to give eyes I wouldn't be able to get in front of even while I'm sleeping, because while I'm sleeping at night, the other side of the world is up and they're productive and they're figuring out how to change their own lives. So using social networking, using YouTube pay-per-click, those have been a huge part of our success thus far. Recently, this week, we had a friend in the Dominican Republic who we met through a business or one of our clients, and we, talked to him about what's going on and what could happen on his island. They have a huge influx of people who come from around the world. That's their main source of revenue on their island is tourism. And we talked to him about the ability for him to be kind of the leader with digital currency and share this information with the other business owners to say, accepting digital currency can create additional wealth for individuals on the island. And so he took his time again, looked at the information that we shared with him, and finally said, let's figure this out together. Let's figure out how we can create wealth for everyone here on the island who decides to move forward. He just started with a combo package, a trader and starter, which allowed him to get another split. And for those who knew, it may not make sense now, but you'll get additional information on what the splits mean when you have your educational packages and the tokens you receive. But with that package right there totaled about $790 US. So with that, he got to spin the wheel, the promotional wheel that we have going on right now. He spun the wheel, and on his starter package got an extra 25% more coins. And on his trader package, he got an additional split. And so at the end of everything, with the face value of OneCoin being about $7.85 today, he ended up getting those coins for $1.15. And that $790 US dollar package turned into about $4,000. We're just so excited about the possibilities and being able to do something right now to change lives. And he is just on fire. And it's great that you can be ignorant on fire in this business. You don't have to know everything right away. You just have to decide that you want to share the information, follow the systems and the protocols that we have in place for your success, and you can do amazing things.
Yeah, I mean, when you get someone like that in your team, absolutely godsend, right? And absolutely just changes everything, because their enthusiasm, their passion, their drive just lifts everyone else up in the team at the same time. You can all get together and you can work together as a team on that. It really does take your whole business to the next level. So massive congratulations on that as well. So we'll just talk a little bit. Let's delve into the company. The company have announced that we're lining up for an IPO, initial public offering, for those that don't know. As an investment banker, what does an IPO mean to you, and the magnitude of this company? Could it possibly be one of the biggest IPOs we may see?
So there are tons of companies around the world that go public. And just like any other business, there's a huge upside potential and there's a risk associated with it. But I started asking my friends, if you knew, would you have gotten involved with Google before they went public? And the answer is a resounding yes. That is the ability to be able to research things like we can now. You had to know someone that knew someone to be able to have access to the information, to even be invited to be a part of the IPO, show public offering. This is a tremendous opportunity for anyone in the world to be able to have access to a company who did $1 billion in revenue within their first 11 months in business. The first time in the world anyone has done that, number one. Number two, to be able to, in their second year, do over $2.5 billion in annual revenue. Again, another huge feat. But now you get to partner with them at your own comfort level, your own level, dependent on where you are financially. I recommend that no one does anything that's going to, make them not meet their mortgage payment next month. Do what you're comfortable with financially, and then grow with the business, but do what you can. Do something. Don't miss this opportunity to move forward with what could be the next Google stock or the next Facebook stock. There's so much upside potential there. Do what you can. And I mean, at the initial investment of $150, I think, US dollars, that's a pair of shoes. That's a nice dinner. Do it. Move forward. Give yourself the opportunity, chance to experience success that you've already missed when you didn't get involved with Bitcoin.
Yeah, I for one missed Bitcoin. I got off of Bitcoin when it was $1, but it was computer rigging and wiring and cabling, and I just didn't understand it. I was well over my head.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is Dr. Rouge has made this easy for the people. She's creating a currency for the people. You're getting education for the money you're putting in. With that, you get the mining rights to bring the currency into circulation. So you're going to get your currency at a deep discount. We operate in 194 countries.
Yes.
When we go for an IPO, I don't think there's ever been an IPO that operates in 194 countries, has there? Not that I know of anyway. I've done a bit of research and I can't find any other company that's been for an IPO that has 3 million members, 150,000 members joining a month. Those are the fastest company to hit $1 billion in revenue, and they operate in 194 countries. This IPO could be absolutely magnitude. This is macro scale. Oh well, who's open there? Microphone. Please just mute yourself out, guys. Where's that coming from?
Joby, someone else recently said it, and I'm going to paraphrase, that when you hear critics or you hear people who are complimenting what Dr. Rouge has done, what they have the ability to do is compare it to what's already been done. And so that's just like someone saying, oh, when NASA, when the United States went into outer space, here's what they did. And when Russia went into outer space, here's what they did, and comparing the two. Well, we're not just going into outer space with OneCoin. We're going into a different stratosphere, which no one has ever done. So they're not even comparing apples to apples, which can really be interesting when you're listening to someone's opinion.
Okay, hang on 1 second. So I've just got big background noise. I'm just going to unmute you again.
Okay.
Sorry guys, 2 seconds. Spot that video. Right, where's this time we go? Hey, what's going on with my computer? We're having technical issues. Where have you gone? There. Where's your... Why are you not coming on the spotlight? Speak of you. Where have you gone, Tonya? You still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, I know. I've lost you. I can't spotlight your video. I'll start video. That's it. Your video should come up now. Sorry about that, guys. Just a little bit of a technical issue. I hope you're getting some value from this interview so far. There you are. Okay. Spotlight video.
You see me, Joby?
I can, yes. Sorry. I started getting really bad echo, and then all of a sudden your video disappeared, and I don't know what happened. So I do apologise to everyone, but the joys of being live.
Yes.
So let's get back to where we were. We're talking about the IPO and the magnitude of this. This is a macro scale IPO, and we've got a chance to partake in that with using our OneCoins to buy OFC. So could you explain a little bit what OFCs are to people, just so it gives a little bit of clarity?
Yes, absolutely. OFCs are offerings for future certificates. They don't currently have a value, but it allows right now with OneCoin, it allows you to buy 2 for the price of 1. And at the time of the IPO, which is the initial public offering, there will be a value assessed to that and an estimated value of the coin. But right now, essentially, you're getting 2 for the price of 1 as a part of the OFC, or they're offering for future certificates. Again, another historical feat, because it has not been, hold on 1 second, a teenager just came home. Honey, don't turn the TV on. I'm on an interview. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. The joys of working from home, right?
We're real people. We are real.
Real people.
So just with the OFC, so people can exchange their coins for them. There's not much monetary value now, but The idea is basically that they've got their OFCs. They can now convert them once the IPO goes live. That's basically going to be a value of how much our coin and our company may be worth. Is that right?
That's exactly right. And like I said before, we've been fortunate historically that we have friends in high finance, and they would give us a call and say, hey, here's an IPO that's happening, get in now, put $10,000, $20,000 in. They'd call us back the next morning, pull your money out, you just made $50,000. We had that ability because we had those close relationships with people who would give us that call. Not many people have those relationships in place currently. And so for anyone listening and learning now to be able to decide at their own level of risk that they want to get involved, that they can be a part of initial public offering, this is a great opportunity.
Yeah. So now it's your turn to call back your friends, right? We've got an IPO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've got a huge IPO. The guys,
that's exactly what we've done.
Yeah. Fantastic. I've just what's your strategy with how many coins are you using to buy OFCs? I've personally used 60% of my coins to buy OFCs. Mm-hmm. What would your tips be for what would strategies for the IPO for the people joining now?
That is exactly what 60% of our portfolio in to purchase OFCs. And for the month of February, I think it's important for people to know that is the length of time right now that we know that you can get your OFCs 2 for the price of 1. And so we decided to take advantage of that right away.
Yeah, me too. I see I see it. First of all, I've done about 20%, and then I looked and I went, I need to do more. And the fact that you can pull your coins out of CoinSafe as well and use your coins for that, and you've got the interest that was already on the CoinSafe, I mean, it's just a win-win. So for the new guys that are on, once you've actually had your split, which should have happened today, really, but it'll probably be Monday now. I don't know why it hasn't happened, but there you go. But once you've had your splits, you've doubled your tokens.
Have you, Toby?
Pardon?
Yeah, and I was going to mention for those people who don't know what CoinSafe is, it's the ability that when you earn coins, when you have coins that you've earned from commissions or that you've purchased with your package after mining them, you can put them in CoinSafe for a designated period of time and earn 12% interest on it. Again, not something that you can do anywhere with any asset with the guaranteed return of 12% on that specific portion that you put away.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I see the 12%, I was like, I'm locking my coins away. I think I was probably one of the first people in CoinSafe. I was like, I'm doing it. I believe in the company 100%. I'm putting my coins away for 2 years. And a few people were like, you're mad. Can you do that? I was like, I believe in the company. This is my competence. I know that this company is real. It's legit. It's compliant. I know that this company has got a 20-year business plan. So for me, putting my coins away for 2 years, I was like, I wish I could have done it for 5. So
I would love to add that when someone is talking and they're sharing information about CoinSafe or any of the other strategies, to make sure that they're pointing people to the OneLife back office. They absolutely do not make any guarantees. That is the quickest way to get yourself booted out of the company, because they don't want any false claims. False claims and exaggerating is just like quicksand. Once you stick your foot in, it's really hard to get out of. So please point people to the OneLife back office so that they can read the information for themselves. Do not oversell. Do not make any false claims.
Yeah, income disclaimer. Obviously, we are not an investment company. We are an education program. We sell education packages via word of mouth advertising. With that, you get the mining rights to go into the mining pools. You don't have to enter the mining pools. You can purely take the education as well. The CoinSafe is just a side product that the company brought out to obviously give you another option. If you want to enter, you're more than welcome to as well. But once your coins are in CoinSafe, you can't touch them, you can't sell them, you can't do anything with them. So, but again, guys, we are an education program. There is no guarantees on anything. So now we've covered our back. So let's talk a little bit about, let's go into, what about the merchants? What does the merchant program mean to you as an one, as an investment banker, two, as a member of the OneLife company?
So the merchant platform is just so exciting. I think that was one of the things that was announced that made us say, you know what, this is it. This is the time to move forward, because the coins by themselves, they're great. They're just like any other asset that you can buy and trade and sell. So that was fine for people who wanted to get involved early, and you guys benefited greatly from that. But now the usability, 2017 being the year of the merchant, OneLife and OneCoin, having places that you can actually go to use your coins. The last time I checked was a few days ago, and within 3 weeks, over 4,400 businesses around the globe signed on to accept OneCoin, and we haven't even launched the ability to use that platform. So that, again, is just amazing. When I was talking to my friend in the Dominican Republic, the businesses there, for them to be able to have their own mobile platform that allows them to accept a digital currency from people around the world. That means when someone gets off a cruise ship, when they get off of an airplane, they're going to get an alert on their cell phone that says, hey, this business over here accepts OneCoin.
Yes.
And now that person is going to have to say, hey, I can use my digital currency and go over here, and those businesses, those business owners will get more foot traffic from people who might not have known that they existed, number one. And number two, that currency, if they decide hold on to it, as it increases in value, their net worth increases as well. So it's just a win-win. And us